Chad and I came up with the concept for Life as a Mermaid, and season 1 started out as sort of a series of short sketches. They were only 3 to 5 minutes long. And it was just based around the idea of what would happen if a mermaid was to try to fit into the human world.
The first season was a lot more like skits, and it had less characters and less of a big storyline.
That was doing pretty okay, so we decided to do more of an overarching storyline for season 2.
So much more of an arch the second season, and a lot more characters, so I think it's really a lot more intense.
Mermaid Origins is a transitional piece between season 2 and season 3, and sort of leads into season 3. It's about Eve, who's a kid who wants to be a mermaid.
My character is Eve, she's very young and she's having a very hard time just, being a kid. She's in that stage where she thinks she's completely alone in the world.
Yeah, let me on, kid. No, please just give me a chance. I have to be a mermaid.
My character's name is Valerie. She is Madison's younger sister who, I always thought of her as kind of the more conservative mermaid, and I always thought of Madison as the sort of liberal mermaid.
My character is Madison, and she's just very adventurous. She's very curious about humans and their lifestyle, and I think she just wants to get to know them more and help them, so this way they help her create more awareness about the ocean.
This is totally different because we're filming underwater, which we didn't do at all in season 2, so it's pretty exciting to just be in the water and really feeling like a mermaid.
We get to do underwater filmography, and we get to have an underwater set, so we get to do all kinds of cool stuff that we didn't get to do in season 2, and I'm really excited for that.
Everything is the most difficult part of shooting underwater. Everything changes. Angle of light changes because air density is different. Angle of lenses change because water density is different than air again. The exposure changes because the light cuts itself down underwater or water cuts light down.
I think the most difficult part of shooting this sort of content is working on the budget that we're working on, which, even though it's large for us, is still small in scale. We're shooting in a regular residential pool, not a professional pool. We're shooting with some professional lights, but not as many as we should be with how deep we're down.
The fact that it was technical was the most exciting part about it, I think.
Chad really knows things. Chad's good at his craft, so is his crew. They're very fast and efficient, and they know how to make things look good.
So far, it's been taking a little while to get everything set up and in place and coordinating everyone, but I think it's well worth it because the results that we've seen just after 1 or 2 shots are really, really cool.
We were lucky enough to work with Gail, who is a scuba dive instructor and has been diving for a long time.
She knows all these sorts of tricks like breath training and equalizing, like when you go deep underwater, your ears hurt really bad, so you gotta like hold your nose and blow. It's really weird.
Just kind of helping them really attain their breathing, relaxing in the water. I teach swimming and scuba diving and snorkeling, so it's just kind of a natural fit. And I've really always wanted to film with, like a production underwater, so this is actually kind of like a dream for me.
She's been great. We do breath training, we've done a lot of swim training in and out of the tail, so we learned like the proper body movements.
We learn how to lead with our head and then kind of do this body roll while we're in the mermaid tail, and we have to really try to keep straight and with our legs. And then we practice holding our breath underwater.
How to train our lungs to withstand being underwater for long periods of time while moving, which is really difficult.
Well, I think we had a bit of a rocky start in the beginning just because some people don't have as much experience. Allison was very experienced swimming. I think Taylor and Marcella had a little bit more of a learning curve.
Allie's a very strong swimmer. Taylor is too. Marcella kind of knew how to doggy paddle, so that's where we started out with her.
I'm an okay swimmer. I mean, first I was I don't know, I used to do laps in my back pool, but I didn't start doing that till like senior year of high school. Before that, I never really swam.
I'm pretty comfortable in the water, but it's a completely different animal in the monofin and in the tail.
She's very, very patient with the girls and just overall very pleasant to work with.
And I can see it every time they're doing it. It's improving each time, and I think it adds to their confidence that, oh, I am getting better each time.
So the first mermaid tail that we made was Valerie's tail, which is the teal one, and it was made of latex and neoprene. And we found some people at cinema makeup school that had just graduated and they wanted to do like a cool project. And so they created the tail with us.
The tail makes you feel like a fish, so you really like, it's pretty fun. I mean, hers is easier to swim in the sense of it's easier to like move around, it's more flexible.
It's really hard to get into and really tight, so it can be pretty painful. So really, it's just that part. Other than that, it's so much fun being in the water.
My tail, the fluke, the end of the tail is a little lighter, so it's easier to push. But swimming in the tail makes you feel free, you know? It makes you feel fast and cool, and you kind of gotta like watch out for stuff behind you, and you gotta get used to like having an extension of your body that's not normally there, so that's been a really fun experience.
So I talked to those two to make the new tail that we now made out of silicone and neoprene. So a huge step up in material quality. You can tell it's also 3 times as heavy, so it's a bit of a pain.
My tail is very, very heavy, so when I get in the water and go in the deep end, I have to have somebody there to make sure I don't drown.
My favorite part of the process is usually watching the footage. I put myself under a lot of pressure when I'm shooting and when I'm prepping, because it's all about trying to keep quality high and also make everyone kind of happy because everyone's working for free. So I want everyone to have a pleasant experience. When I finally get to see the footage and I see that it worked out and it turned out okay, that's just really very relieving and just very comforting, I guess.